Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. Well, today, another exciting new kit from ICM, well, sort of new. It's the captured Heinkel He111 H-20, and it's a 148 scale kit number 48268. Now last month, or a month before, 2 months ago, we had the captured JU88. Now we've got the captured Heinkel. So it's the actual tooling, of course, is not new, but it's a very interesting. Some of these schemes are absolutely brilliant. Another one of these kits that's retailing around about the £55 mark, give or take £5. But on the two options you have an American. It's quite interesting the location of this. I thought this made me chuckle, because you have the American markings of the captured Heinkel at Boxstead. Well, Boxstead is in Surrey, of course. It's where they actually had the. I remember when we had the Olympics, was that 13 years ago now, 2012 Olympics, they actually had the cycling, I think they had the some of the road racing, and also the mountain biking was at Boxstead. And then the English version, or the RAF version, is a Farnborough-based aircraft, and they've gone for this dark blue as per depicted on the cover, really. Interestingly, you'll note that it has the RAF markings on the side and the American stars and bars on the actual on the wing. Interesting. Says here, I'll just zoom it back. Says on the side, Luftwaffe He111 H-20 aircraft in the USAAF service with the USAAF and also with RAF markings. High level of detail for the fuselage elements, engines and landing gear. And we have seen this kit before, so I'm not going to review the plastic because we've actually seen it before several times now. But I think we should have a look at these markings, it's quite interesting. The model aircraft's geometry exactly reproduces the real aircraft. 291 parts, 3.4 millimetres in length and 4.7 millimetres in wingspan. Quite a big kit. So let's have a nosy at this, see what we've got. I have to say I was amazed by, for example, in my recent auction, kits auction, just how popular that JU88 was. It was. Yeah, people really liked it. I think they like things that are a bit different, don't they? Having the alternate captured schemes just livens it up a bit, perhaps, in people's minds, and you don't get many other manufacturers doing that, in truth. So why not? Why not? Ooh, I've got trouble getting in here. They've done their usual excellent job of packing this with the tape. Ooh, this is. The point of recording this, by the way, this has been within in my hands for less than 90 minutes, so you're getting it hot off the press. When you see it's another matter, of course. Now then, this is where the rubber gloves really come into their own, because getting into these sometimes it's a bit of a nightmare. Yes, we do it. Sometimes it's best to put it on flat like this and go backwards like so. That's it. It's trickier than it looks. Any of you that have had an ICM kit new will know what I mean. Right, so as I say, there's nothing really new about the plastic. So we've got two bags of screws. It's a beautiful kit, this He111. Really is nice, I've got to say. The plastic is as good as anybody else's. Probably the best He111 on the market in 48 scale, in truth be known. It's got some lovely clear parts, as usual from ICM. And as I say, it would be wasting everybody's time to go through that all over again. So let's really focus on the decals and markings and what it says here, because I think this is going to be quite amusing. So it says, one of the He111 H-20 aircraft has a remarkable history. Built as a transport variant of the Luftwaffe's most widely produced bombers, H-20 was the transport version, okay. It was manufactured in 1944 with factory number 701152. During the final days of World War II in Europe, American forces captured and transported it to Cherbourg. Alright. The pilots of the 56th Fighter Group, USAAF, who were assigned the aircraft, painted their unit's signature in a deep purple colour. Oh, it's purple then. No, I thought it was blue, it's purple. Okay. By September 1945, when it was time to return to the USA, the American pilots faced leaving the aircraft behind. Unwilling to abandon it, the crew made a daring decision. Without higher command's approval, they flew it to the British Air Base at North Weald, which of course is not, it's in Essex, that's not far from Stansted Airport. where bewildered British pilots discovered it on their airfield the following morning. This bold action ensured the aircraft's preservation. It was subsequently featured in the German aircraft exhibition at RAE Farnborough before finding its permanent home in 1978 at the Royal Air Force Museum at Hendon in London, where it remains today. Well, I didn't know that. Is it in those colours then? That's incredible. I love it. Okay, that's a great story. That's a great story. So let's have a look at the markings. You won't see many He111s with these markings. No controversial symbols here. No Nazis need apply. So it's got this slightly, to my eye, slightly odd, light-coloured American stars and bars. It seems very light, the blue. Is it my imagination? I'm not convinced that they've got the colour right on this, because it's the same with the RAF Randall. That looks a bit light. Now I should warn you that my camera has a habit of compensating for strange blues and greys. I can tell you that to the human eye that looks too light. It's a bit too pale looking, the blue, to me. Both here and here. It's not quite dark enough, and it doesn't look like it does on the actual box art. It looks more normal. So I'm not too sure about those. Oh, it also it does have some controversial symbols. Obviously you can put that on it as well if you wish. So in actual fact those should be on it, and they put them in a different colour so that they don't get recognised as being what they are. How interesting, how interesting. Yes, I'm not entirely sure about the colour rendition there. I think there's something gone amiss. Well, I won't go through all the instructions because, as I say, we have seen this this aircraft before. I'm just wondering about what it shows on the internals, actually, with it being a transport version. Okay, so there are some differences. So actually, you can see here, you've got your sorry, just 1 second. You have got your internal area here. Instead of it being a bomb bay, it is, I'm not sure what the ring is. It's like a reinforcement ring. I think that's for carrying, maybe it's for carrying oil drums or something. I'm not sure what that's for. Any experts amongst you, please shout up. I wonder if Stuart knows that, because he's a wizard on 111s, isn't he? So you end up with this, instead of the bomb bay, you end up with this cargo area, basically. Is it for parachute drops? Is that what it's for? Something to do with parachute drop practice or something like that. I just don't recognise what that ring is. But anyway, apart from that, everything else is pretty much standard. Until you get to the end. So it's got that the fighter group was based at Boxstead, but I don't think that's where the aircraft was based. So that's a little bit odd. And they've got it in the green here. It hasn't really explained how it got into the green camo colour. So, a bit strange. And then this is what it was later on, this sort of a bluey colour. Just feel there's a little bit of detail is missing, really. Okay. So when they flew it across, it must have had the Nazi symbols on it, and then they must have removed them later. Later for the Farnborough, for the Hendon museum display. Well, if anybody's seen this aircraft at Hendon, knows the history of it, please shout up and tell us a bit more, because that doesn't really tell us a whole lot, does it, really? It's an interesting story, but I just feel there's more info they haven't quite explained about why it mentions Boxstead. I presume that's where the fighter group were based, because they were Mustangs, weren't they? I think they were. It's quite an interesting story there, something a little bit different. So there we have it. So say it's probably not worth going to doing an entire review of the kit, because there's only like 2 parts that are different within it from normal. It just doesn't have the bomb bay. It doesn't have the bomb doors. It's different in that one respect. Everything else is kind of standard He111, really. But it's a beautiful kit. It's got some lovely clear parts, very, very fine detailing. And you can see, even if I zoom in here, just looking at the engine parts, how nicely they did the engine on this. It's a really, really fine kit. Look at that. You can see all the engine cylinders, engine bearers, done very, very finely. It's an absolute delight, frankly. You got the exhaust there as well. Look. A bit closer. Exhausts. Very nice indeed, actually. Really is a beauty. Got the optional, the paddle style propellers there, which is a different option you can have. What did it show at the front actually? I didn't check that, did I? In terms of the, oh yes, there's quite a lot of, from the standard kit, I think we've basically got enough parts in here to make a standard one. Yes, I'm pretty sure you've got the bomb bay. You've got sprues that include all options basically, and there's quite a lot of parts that you're not going to use from the other variants. So this is almost like pick a mix. You can sort of make various different variants from the one kit, pretty obviously. How nice! That's a lot of kit there for 55 quid. I think that's another winner from ICM. My only reservation is it's those decals. I think this reminds me of the Beaufort. I think we had a problem with the Beaufort. Same problem. It's always on blues. It seems to be a bit of an issue. Not every time, but that blue is too pale, and I'm not sure if it's coming out on the camera. I'm just going to show you one more time. It's a bit too pallid. It's a bit too pale. It's like a pale. It's got a bit of, almost like a bit of grey in it. See, I'm looking at the camera. It doesn't look as bad on the camera as it does to the naked eye. So I'm not sure if you're actually getting the full essence of what I'm saying. But the blue's not the right shade. Neither the American nor the British blue. Doesn't quite look right, that. I will go back to ICM and mention it to them and say I've got some question marks in my mind whether that's actually correct. It might be a quality control issue with the printing, I don't know, but the clarity of the printing and everything looks good. It's just it's not the right colour. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to give it. I'm hoping that's just a glitch, perhaps a quality control issue. There's the rest of the other sprues. All the huge wings. I mean, it's a massive kit, really. Beautiful kit. I'm going to give that a 9.5 out of 10. I shall, because I think you're getting a lot for your money in that box. A lot of plastic, a lot of different options and choices. You can, especially if you do your research, you can probably do 3 different marks of Heinkel, I reckon, at least, out of that box. What an absolute stunner! 9.5 out of 10 from me. Hope you give me a 10 out of 10 by giving me a like. Thanks very much for joining me again. Hope you'll stay tuned. We've got lots of other interesting items coming through. A couple more from ICM. One or two of them are quite unusual. Something you won't see me doing before. Fire trucks, for example, and tiger moths. How about that? And some strange weapons as well. So stay tuned. Plenty more coming in the near future. Until next time, thanks very much for joining me. Hope you found it interesting. Thanks for all your time and watching. And until next time, stay well, stay safe. I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. In the meantime, bye for now.